Hello everyone, welcome back to another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. We are back for the treasure map for Vegapunk, and his expansion is not great in terms of the crewmate ability you do get, or the secondary crewmate. The main thing is that he does unlock the potential ability to reduce the special limited debuff, which I'm pretty sure is going to be present in the treasure map. So I do recommend getting to the 3 million mark so you can actually, 2 million, so that you can actually get the key to unlock him. Now, this treasure map has a lot of interesting mechanics, and I'm actually using two teams to just straight up wave clear the enemy boss. One of them has to be fought in the middle of the map so that the enemy has as much HP as level 1 Nav. But either way, let's first get into the intrusion quest here, which we are using a team that without any support, and we are using two rare recruits from the recent batch, the Roger, Gaban, and Rayleigh batch. Now, those characters are not necessary whatsoever, they're just there for points. The main thing is that you have Magellan Captain, Kuzan Rare Recruit, and the friend Captain Alba and Kaido. On the intrusion, we are using Kaido and Alba, and then on the final boss, we are using the the Katakuri and Big Mom Legend, since both of these quests have been tailored to those legends. Okay, so stage 1, we are just going to kill. And on stage 2, it's very important that you do stay in Alba's form and do not go to Kaido, because we do need to have the resistance from a lot of debuffs that Alba has, but Kaido does not. So at this stage, we can use the special of Kuzan. That's going to attack the enemy with damage. They will interrupt this, but we do get a a chain boundary effect. This kind of is a debuff, so they don't remove it. And then use Magellan's super type, to give the enemy the poison debuff. At this point, you can just start the chain and then kill off the enemy, and then the poison will kill them. At this stage, you could also use the Odin and Whitebeard character if you do have them. And then upon death, they will blow away one of our crewmates. Don't worry, none of our crewmates actually matter in this quest, surprisingly. That doesn't really matter. We get all of our units binded, the top and bottom row. Since Alba resists that, we can use his special. That's gonna release our characters from bind. You can use Magellan twice for a color affinity and an an attack boost. And then if you did use your Odin and Whitebeard in the previous stage, you would also have an orb boost for this stage from hitting 2 perfects. At this point, you can just hit a good strike to start the chain, and then Magellan kills very easily. So you do need to have the barrier pin maxed on your Magellan, just to ensure that you can get through the barrier. I'm pretty sure that we did have basically full health there, so you can probably get away with level 4 or level 3 barrier pin, but it's just to be safe. You need to have him at least limit broken. So that's going to give us quite a lot of points. I'm pretty sure without any of the new batch, that is the highest point boost you can get. And if you are struggling with anything, and maybe you have a debuff they need to reduce, remember there is a lot of supports that you can attach to that team, since we're not using any of them at the moment. Now, I did mess up on this run. I didn't go to the left side of the map where Sanji and Pudding is, which is where the mid map is. I would have missed the intrusion, which is why I did it, because I need to show you guys how my intrusion team works. But either way, we're at a very low nav right now, so the team might still work, even though we are at a nav above 1. What I'm talking about is the Sanji and Pudding fight, where we are using a Roger to straight up just wave clear the enemy because of how low their health is. It is a very annoying mini boss because of all the enemy buffs and just how many enemies there are. There is 4 enemies on that mini boss, so just wave clearing them is much more fast and much more just satisfying to actually play the quest. Now, this mini boss is the most interesting team I made. It is double Katakuri against Yamato and Ace. This does not have to be fought in the middle of the map. It is at least 40 million damage team, as long as you do have your Kaido at level limit break 5. So this team is relying on the fact that the enemy gives us a 70% HP cut as a preemptive, and they don't have normal attacks only on this quest, meaning that we can use Katakuri's ability to store damage and then reflect it through his special ability. So use a high HP ship and use a lot of supports that boost your HP. We do have one unique support on our Vista to get around the enemy's defense up, set it to 0. Then our law will allow our Katakuri special to go through the barrier and then use Katakuri. It's that simple. 5 million damage, another 5 million from the other Katakuri, and if you use your Kaido first, you will get 2 million extra damage and a 2.25x increased damage taken, meaning that the Katakuris together will deal 20 million damage instead because of the extra damage, or even higher. And then even when that doesn't work, you can use the tap timing bonus that Katakuri has in his special. So as I said, at least 40 million damage with this team, and that's without accounting for the 2 million damage that Kaido does in his special himself. So even if you don't have Kaido at level limit break 5, and your increased damage taken doesn't go through the immunity, it's still about a 20 million damage team, which is still very solid. Now this team supports, there's no supports. Make sure you run a Luffy support on your Sanji though, so you get the damage nullification reduction. We are using Halloween Ace. He's really not that necessary, but he's just nice because he's going to be has type advantage on the final stage. Don't know why I said it like that. And he also is going to negate the special rewind, which allows us to use the Sanji on the final stage. There are definitely other ways to get around it, but this is just the easiest in my opinion. Stage 1, use your Ace special to wave clear. Stage 2, we are using Toki on our captains. That's not to negate any debuffs on the final stage, it's literally just for damage. Kawamatsu for a chain boost and a very fast wave clear. And then Sanji gives us a boundary and negates the damage nullification. So overall, very efficient. If you include Toki, it's only 2 specials. But if you just cut in the final stage, it's literally just 1 special. You can activate the chain, and then Ace destroys that with the 3.5x attack and ore boost, a chain boundary, and a chain boost. A very potent combo alongside the rainbow orbs from the Shirahoshi support character's crewmate ability. Very happy with that team. Gets the job done very fast and is probably the highest damage team here. That definitely can reach, I think, at least 100 million damage, just because of how the chain is growth. I don't know what I mean by growth, but like, it's not a chain lock, it's a chain boundary with a chain additive, meaning you can actually build up the chain and get even higher damage at later nabs. This team is using Carrot not to negate debuffs or enemy buffs for once. We are actually just using her for being a cooldown heavy captain. What I mean about that is we need a cooldown heavy captain that's going to give us a ton of turns of cooldown for our Zoro. Zoro is 13 turn cooldown, that's very high, and he does not get quest cooldown. That is a very annoying combo. Now I did get the cooldown buff on this run, so it doesn't really matter. But you do need the -4 cooldowns from the Carrot Captain ability. And then you also need a -1 cooldown Wave Clearer in Luffy. And you also need a -2 cooldown ship. And then you use Carrot Special, and then Zoro is ready. He does have Koshido support. There is 8 tons of resilience on this quest. Most people would just use an end of turn damage dealer or a poison, but that is slow. Removing it is better. Koshido support plus this Zoro gets around the paralysis and the resilience. And then you can also attach Dogstorm support Legend Dex to your character if you want an attack boost as well. And then with that together, you have 1 orbs, type advantage on your carrots, an orb boost, attack boost, and a chain boost. Not the best team in terms of damage, but it definitely gets through it. And you do have 2 damage dealers. Unfortunately, you can only hit 1 perfect because of that burn effect. But for most of the time, it should be fine. You can still hit a great effect on your, or great tap on your carrot, your second carrot, to deal extra damage. So that was a mouthful. I'm happy with that team though. And then this one is the big boy, the Roger team. Now this team is very convenient because luckily this time around Roger actually gets cooldown on stage 1. Usually he gets absolutely shafted and they for some reason don't give him cooldown. And since he is a very high cooldown unit in nature, it makes it very annoying to make these kind of teams. Luckily this time it didn't happen and we can run double Roger. Otherwise you'd have to run double Daruma for -8 cooldown from the captains. This time however we are running 2 subs who have the crewman ability to give us 1 turn of cooldown at the start of the quest. Cross Guild or Gear 5 6 plus Luffy could also work. Now, unfortunately, it looks like this is not going to work because this is not the middle of the map. But if you do fight the middle of the map, both Rogers will kill. I'll meet you for the final boss. But all I'm saying is the team still works regardless. Gaban gets rid of special bind. You use Carrot to allow herself to go through barriers and defensive effects. And then you have so many buffs you can still kill anyways. So even if you do mess up, this team will still work. Okay, so surprisingly, I still didn't die. That was really interesting. We have a lot of buffs on that team regardless. I was going to say that Carrot and Wanda is replaceable by anyone. If you do use the team as it should, then yeah, they are necessary. You can replace them. But if you are wanting to make sure that you do have a safety net, if you do mess up and knock off in the middle of the map, then I do recommend Carrot and Wanda. Final boss, basically the exact same team. Not even base, is literally just the exact same team as the Intrusion. This time, however, we are using Katakuri and Big Mom Friend Captain. This team is a bit lackluster in damage. I might do some shenanigans to replace some units. If you do have the Baratie ship, then use it. It gives us similar orbs counted as matching, which is really beneficial for this quest. I don't know why Big Mom and Katakuri just don't make that counted as matching. Well, I think they do, but just not for some of the units on this team. It's a bit inconvenient. Regardless, we can use Katakuri and Big Mom special. That gets around the despair. And then use your, what's-his-face, Kuzan from the Pirate King Adventures for Chain Boundary to negate the chain attack downs. You can just attack with the Magellan, save the rest of your similar orbs. I do recommend that. Also, just ignore what I said about Baratie. I don't think that the Garp and Sengoku even deal damage on this team, so don't worry about that. Final stage, we can use the special of your Magellans to get around the burn effect, and then you can also use the Odin and Whitebeard character, and that's going to get her or give you an orb boost. So you have an attack boost, orb boost, color affinity, and a chain boundary. You hit 2 perfects. You actually get an orb boost for the revive. There is a revive, unfortunately, 15%. Luckily, the poison does help with that a teeny bit. And then, well, actually doesn't help at all. That's kind of stupid. But we can use our Sengoku and Garp to give us a chain boundary again. And with that, the enemy is gone. The best character to tap at that point is actually on your Odin and Whitebeard. So I guess on this team it is kind of necessary to have someone off the revive to give you the chain you need. So that is the teams. I hope you guys enjoyed. I forgot to actually resume the timer after the fight against Roger, but it's about 12 minutes. But I remember my ping is bad, and I was also going a bit slower to show you guys how it works. So overall, it's about a 12-minute run. If you don't fight the Intrusion, about 10 minutes. If you are someone who has good ping, 9 minutes. It's pretty solid. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like and subscribe. I might show another playthrough of a later nav, but I'm probably not going to go that hard on this treasure map. Just to the 10 million. I mean, 15 minute. Remember, this treasure map goes up to 15 million on the treasure point rewards. So make sure you do that. It's an extra 30 rainbow gems. Very important that you do that. But I'll probably stop after there. You shouldn't be demoted to Grand Line if you do get to that mark. And I mean, that's really all that matters. Getting the point rewards, not demoting. And then upon that, it's just if you want more materials. But enough of me. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace, and I'm out.